Hello students, today we start with the next chapter of costing and the name of the chapter is budgeting and budgetary control. Since I've already prepared the format here, I don't want to waste time in recording, so I've written the heading here. The name of the chapter, budgeting and budgetary control. Now, as I always do, first we will understand what do you exactly mean by the name of the chapter. Very simple. When I say budgeting मतलब to make forecast, to make an estimate. फ्यूचर पीरियड के लिए हमें प्रेडिक्शन करना है. That is the meaning of budgeting. So budgeting means making forecast, making estimates. And when I say budgetary control means जो हमने बजट किया है उसका हम कंट्रोल कैसे करें. That is more of a type of decision making which you all have already done in the chapter decision making. The concept is that only, and you all have also done or you all are going to do standard costing. There you have seen the comparison variance analysis, so the same concept is there. So when I say budgeting and budgetary control, that means making estimates, and on the basis of an estimate comparing with the previous year, how to make controls for the coming period. In short, estimate करना है, predictions करना है. Again, a very interesting chapter, very scoring also. In this chapter, there are different parts. If you see, I have written here part 1, flexible budget. Today I am going to focus on that only. There is flexible budget, then there is cash budget, there is sales budget, and then there is production and purchase budget. So these are the parts. I'll repeat: flexible, cash, sales, purchase and production. So all the parts ka I will give you all a good foundation, and I'll upload the basic videos of each and every part which will be open on YouTube. And then those who want to like to study this chapter with me, you all can connect with me. Okay, so not wasting much time, let's get into the part flexible budget. जैसे मैंने बताया budget means making an estimate, and flexible means basic English meaning क्या होता है flexible का? Be flexible, change according to the situation. सिचुएशन के हिसाब से फ्लेक्सिबल बनो, चेंज करो अपने आप को सिचुएशन के हिसाब से. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्लेक्सिबल बजट. एंड फ्लेक्सिबल बजट में हमें डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस दी गई रहेगी. ऑन दैट बेसिस यू हैव टू मेक बजट. नाउ से फॉर एग्जांपल दे गिव यू कॉस्ट डेटा of a product, and they give you that the cost data is for a quantity of say 20,000 units. So 20,000 units का डेटा है. आने वाले पीरियड के लिए दे प्रिडिक्ट 20 का 25 भी हो सकता है, 30 भी हो सकता है, 20 का 15 भी हो सकता है. तो व्हाट यू आर सपोज टू डू इज 20 का एस्टिमेट तो है तुम्हारे पास. टेकिंग द बेस ऑफ द 20,000 यूनिट्स का एस्टिमेट, you have to make estimate for all the levels what I mentioned: 15, 25 and 30. In short, they will give you the current level of output, they will give you their prediction, and they will give you 2-3 variations. Current level का होगा plus 2 or 3 or 4 different level of units they'll give you. You have to find out the cost per unit of the product what you are dealing in or you are manufacturing at all the respective levels. That is the meaning of flexible budget. Flexible budget means budget ऐसा बनाओ कि variation के हिसाब से you are ready with your data. A very simple part. And in this chapter, in the board exams, wherever there was sums, 50% times sums have come on flexible budget. Understand the concept, the sum what I am going to do, you'll find it very simple. Okay, chalo. Now, I've already made the format. Let's read the question. Those who are watching this on YouTube, the question is there in the description box. Let's see. Following is the data given by Axis Ltd, which currently is manufacturing 10,000 units of product AB. The following are the budgeted expenses at current level of production. So the current level is 10,000 units और जो question में data दिया है वो भी 10,000 units के लिए. Let's see. They've given you cost per unit. Material, labor, direct expenses, variable overheads, fixed overhead. Admin overheads brackets में दिया हुआ है 40% fixed, selling 20% fixed, distribution 40% variable. The selling price per unit of the product AB was derived in such a way that Axis Limited earns a profit of 20% on selling price. You are required to prepare flexible budget of 8,000, 12,000 and 15,000 as well as the current level of output. So whatever they give you, वो तो बनाना ही है plus current level. Just few minutes back I gave you example. Okay. Now see, heading कैसे दोगे? Flexible budget of Axis Limited for the period not mentioned, so dash dash dash. You will make full page. Particulars. जो question में दिया है material, labor, overheads, all that data has to be put here. Now see, there are 4 main columns of different level of units. 8,000 units जो बनाने को बोला है, 10,000 units is current level that always you prepare, 12 and 15. So हमें क्या करना है? Again I repeat, flexible budget का meaning है be flexible with your forecast and be ready with the data which is there. So हमें क्या करना है? You have to tell them what will be my cost per unit as well as the selling price. यहाँ पे selling price दिया है, otherwise the sum gets over after you get the total cost if there is no information for selling price. So you have to tell them if I produce and sell 8,000 units, what will be my cost and selling price per unit? 10 becha, 12 becha, 15 becha. In short, in each of the situation, what will be my cost per unit as well as the selling price? You all know concept marginal costing में किया हुआ है. Cost divided in 2 parts, fixed and variable. Fixed cost remains fixed. Variable changes according to the level of output. Base of marginal costing. So because of that, every level of units may the cost per unit will change. Got it, guys? Now listen. Flexible budget may you are supposed to divide your cost fixed and variable. At the same time, there will be cases where there will be semi-variable also. Semi-variable matlab that part which is partly fixed, partly variable. Pura variable है, we call it as variable. Pura fixed है, pura fixed, and there will be cases where there will be semi-variable. Now ये sum में भी semi-variable है, but if you can segregate your semi-variable into fixed and variable, then there is no need to make a separate head of semi-variable, जो ये case में होगा. And if you cannot segregate your semi-variable into fixed and variable, then there will be a third heading of semi-variable. In short, आज के sum के लिए वो भूल जाओ. So today का sum में there is only variable and fixed. There are 3 expenses जिसमें part variable, part fixed है, but we can allocate into fixed and variable. So there is no question of selling and there is no question of semi-variable. Got it? So my table, particulars, 4 main columns, 8,000 units, 10,000, 12 and 15, and हर एक units के नीचे 2 column आएगा, amount CPU. Got it? So particulars, 4 main columns of units, and below each column of unit there will be 2 columns, amount and CPU. CPU को छोटा रखना and amount को थोड़ा बड़ा. You can start with fixed, we can start with variable. It's better we start with variable. Okay, so I'll give the heading A, variable overheads. Okay, A, variable overheads. Let me check the angle of the mobile. I think it's fine. Yeah. Now listen. We know very well. Variable overheads are those overheads which vary or change according to the output. The cost per unit remains the same irrespective of the level of output. Got it? Now see, material. Can I say material? You all have done in marginal costing and decision making also. Nothing mentioned. Material is always variable. So what we will do? Variable overheads का first part material. Got it? Now see, material cost per unit कितना दिया है? 50. Variable cost remains fixed per unit. Nothing mentioned. Whatever is your output, per unit cost will remain 50. So see, देखो बराबर मैं कैसे कर रहा हूं. So what I'll do, cost per unit is 50 rupees. So everywhere in CPU का column put 50. Everywhere in CPU का column put 50. Material per unit cost is variable. So everywhere cost per unit में put 50 rupees. Now याद है ना, marginal costing, variable cost per unit remains fixed but total amount changes. So now guys listen. So what I will do now, 50 rupees per unit सब जगह है. What is the first level of units? 8000. ध्यान से देखो. So 50 into 8000. 8 5s are 40. So my material cost will be 4 lakh rupees. Getting it? Per unit को number of units से multiply करो. 10,000 units. 50 into 10,000. 5 lakh. 12,000. 50 into 12,000. 6 lakhs. 15,000. 15 5s are 75. So 7 lakh 50,000. Wherever there is variable overhead, put the amount per unit in the CPU column and multiply by the respective units. Clear? Chalo. Let's do the same thing for wages, that is labor. Okay, labor and wages are same. Chalo. What is labor per unit? 30 rupees. So what I'll do? Per unit 30. I'll repeat. Variable overheads जो भी per unit दिया है, put it in the CPU column. So now see, labor 30 into 8. 3 8s are 24. So 2 lakh 40,000. 3 lakhs. 30 into 10,000. 30 into 12,000. 3 lakh 60,000. 30 into 15,000. 4 lakh 50,000. Okay. 30 into 8,000. 30 into 10. 30 into 12 and 30 into 15. Okay. Next, direct expenses. We know very well. You all have done in cost sheet also in SY. Direct expenses are those which vary according to the production, directly related to production. Therefore, they are also variable. So, कितना है direct expense? 20 rupees. So, everywhere per unit के column में 20. Getting it? CPU के column में रखो, multiply by the respective units. So 20 into 8,000. 1 lakh 60. 20 into 10,000. 2 lakhs. 20 into 12. 240. 20 into 15,000. That is 3 lakhs. Got it? Per unit, multiply by the respective units. So 20 into 8,000, 20 into 10,000, 20 into 12, 20 into 15. Next, we have variable. They have given you, the main heading is variable. These are other variable overheads. कितना है? 10 rupees. So obvious है, ऊपर 20 है, ये 10 है तो half हो जाएगा. So 10 into 15,000. 1 lakh 50. 10 into 12,000. 120. 10 into 10,000. 1 lakh. And 10 into 8,000. 80,000 units. गेटिंग इट? आई रिपीट गाइस, जो भी सीपीयू दिया है कॉस्ट पर यूनिट, put it in the cost per unit and multiply by the respective units. Now see, next is fixed overheads. Fixed overheads second part में आएगा, अभी कुछ नहीं करना है. Now guys, be careful for the next three. Admin overheads. Now when I say admin overheads, what is given in the bracket? Admin overheads brackets में दिया है 40% fix. Okay, एडमिन ओवरहेड्स ब्रैकेट्स में दिया है 40% फिक्स. नाउ कैन आई से, अगर 40% फिक्स्ड है तो बाकी का 60 क्या है? इफ एडमिन इज 40% फिक्स्ड, दैट मीन्स कैन आई से द रिमेनिंग 60% विल बी वेरिएबल. सो व्हाट यू विल डू, यू विल राइट देयर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. गेटिंग इट? मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूं, अगर एडमिन का जो पर यूनिट कॉस्ट है, ओके, 40% फिक्स है, तो अगर 40% फिक्स है, दैट मीन्स द रिमेनिंग 60% हैज टू बी वेरिएबल. सो देखो पर यूनिट कितना है, आई पुट इट इन ब्रैकेट्स हियर. सो 25 into 60%. ओके, 25 का 40% होता है 10, so 60% is 50. Getting it guys? I'll repeat. देखो एडमिन ओवरहेड दिया है 25, 40% फिक्स बोला है, 40% फिक्स, दैट मीन्स 60% इज वेरिएबल. सो सीपीयू का कैलकुलेशन मैंने ब्रैकेट में दिखाया है, 25 into 60% होता है 15. 15 into 8,000 gives you 1,20,000. सब जगह 15 ही आएगा. ओके, 1,50,000, 1,80,000 and 2,25,000. I'll repeat. Admin overheads 40% fixed है, that means 60% is variable. Cost per unit का 60% लो and put it in the column of cost per unit variable में and multiply by the respective units. So 60% variable, बाकी का जो 40% fixed है, when we come to the second part, that time we'll see. As I told you starting, ये table full page का बनेगा, बाद में working है जो हम लोग next page पे ले लेंगे. Okay, now see the next thing. Selling overheads 20% fixed. Can I say the same thing? अगर selling overheads का जो CPU है 20% fixed है, that means can I say 80% is variable. कितना है per unit? 20 rupees. So what I'll do, selling cost per unit is 20, उसमें से 20% fixed है, so 20 का 18% is 16, so 16 rupees is per unit variable cost. So 16 per unit variable cost. Okay, chalo. Now 16 into 8,000, 1,28,000, 1,60,000, 192,000, 2,40,000. I hope all of you all know how to use the constant key. देखो क्या करो, 4 बार करने की जगह मैंने अभी तक बोला नहीं because some students are not comfortable. See here, CPU 16 है, तो कैलसी में put 16, press multiplication sign twice. 16 एंटर करो, प्रेस मल्टीप्लीकेशन साइन ट्वाइस, देन जस्ट कीप ऑन डूइंग. 8,000 इज इक्वल टू, ये आंसर आएगा. फिर और कुछ मत करो, स्ट्रेट अवे 10 इज इक्वल टू 10,000 इज इक्वल टू, ये आंसर आएगा. ये आंसर कैलसी भी आने के बाद डोंट टच एनी अदर की, जस्ट पुट 12,000 इज इक्वल टू, यू विल गेट दिस and 15 is equal to, you'll get this. So that what will happen, 4 बार मल्टीप्लाई करने की जगह आधा काम आधा मेहनत तुम्हारा कम हो जाएगा. Getting it? I'll repeat again. Put in the calci 16. Press multiplication sign twice. Few calcis take it once also, but do it twice, and then just put 8,000 is equal to, you get this. 10 is equal to, you get this. 12 is equal to, you get this. 15 is equal to, you get this. Got it? चलो next. और याद रखना 80% variable है, 20% fixed. So when I come to second part, I'll go back to that. Now what is the last one given? Distribution overheads. 40% variable. हम लोग वेरिएबल में ही है तो 40% ही लेना है. 40% वेरिएबल मतलब 60 फिक्स होगा. सो राइट नाउ 40% वेरिएबल. सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कितना है मेरा पर यूनिट? 10. सो 10 का 40% दैट इज 4. So 10 rupees का 40% gives you 4. 10 का 40% gives you 4. Okay. चलो now 4 8s are 32. 4 10s are 40. 48 and 60. A total variable overheads. Got it guys? अभी ध्यान से सुनो. All of you pay attention. Can I say CPU में सब फिगर सेम ही है? So there are two ways. हर एक का टोटल करो और CPU का टोटल करो. चारों का CPU का कॉलम का टोटल सेम ही रहेगा CPU, and multiply by the respective units, you'll get the same answer. Okay, let's see. 50, 30, 20, 110, 15 and 20. 145 है, 80, 100, 10, 25, 45. Everywhere the CPU का column has to be 145. बराबर चेक कर लेना. You can take the total of each. चारों जगह वेरिएबल सेम आना चाहिए. नाउ व्हेन यू गेट दिस यू कैन अवॉइड टोटलिंग दिस. स्ट्रेट अवे ये करो जैसे मैंने बोला. सी दोज आर कंफ्यूज विद द कांस्टेंट की. 145 इनटू करो. 8,000 इज इक्वल टू 11,60,000. 10,000 is equal to 14,50,000. 12,000 is equal to 1740. 15 is equal to 21,75,000. Okay. CPU multiplied by the respective units gives you total variable overheads. I'll repeat. Get the CPU of all the 4 columns. That CPU you multiply by the respective units. That gives you your total variable overheads. That gives you your total variable overheads. Got it? Variable का पार्ट खत्म. आगे जो selling price दिया है that will come later on after we get the total cost. So now after variable, now we take the next part B, that is fixed overheads. B, that is fixed overheads. Now guys, see how the concept of marginal costing is also applicable here. Variable cost per unit fixed, total changes according to the output. Variable cost per unit fixed, total changes according to the output. Fixed overheads, total remains same, per unit changes according to the output. Per unit changes according to the output. ओके चलो नाउ मटीरियल लेबर डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंस वेरिएबल ओवरहेड्स ऑल फोर वर फुल्ली वेरिएबल तो वो तो पार्ट हो गया. नाउ सी फिक्स ओवरहेड्स. Fixed overheads is fixed. So what I'll do, I'll write here fix. Now guys, be careful. You all have done this in decision making, a good revision of that. Fixed overhead per unit diya 25 rupees. Fixed overhead per unit is given 25 rupees. So what will happen? 25 rupees per unit fix hai. Whenever they give you fixed overhead per unit, it is always at current level of output. Question का data कितने units का है? 10,000. So my fixed overheads का amount will be 10,000 into 25. I'll repeat. Fixed overheads is always fixed irrespective of the level of output. And when they give you per unit fix, it is always at the current level. Current level is 10,000, so 10,000 into 25. Have they told you आगे जाके unit के हिसाब से it changes? No. So what you will do? 10,000 into 25, 2,50,000 will be the amount which is fixed everywhere. So हर एक column में 2,50,000. So 10,000 units into 25. So 2,50,000 is my fixed overheads per unit. अपना total amount. Got it? देखो variable fixed per unit total amount changes. This is fixed. Now per unit will change. अभी देखो कैसे करोगे. How will get per unit? Respective amounts को divide करो unit से. So 2,50,000 divided by 8,000. 31.25. 2,50,000 divided by 10,000. 25. 2,50,000 divided by 12. 20.83. 2,50,000 divided by 15. 16.67. Getting it? Fixed overheads का total amount you will divide it by the respective units. Fixed overheads का total amount you will divide it by the respective units. अभी देखो fixed overhead total amount fixed per unit changes according to the level of output. जैसे जैसे मेरा यूनिट्स बढ़ेगा पर यूनिट कम होगा. कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग. गॉट इट? सो दैट वाज फिक्स का फर्स्ट पार्ट. नाउ सी एडमिन ओवरहेड्स 40% फिक्स 60 वेरिएबल लिया था. सो नाउ वी विल टेक दिस. सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. नाउ सी आई विल पुट इट इन ब्रैकेट्स. पर यूनिट कितना है? 25. How much is the fixed component? 40%. Now see, 25 का 60% I took variable. Now 25 का 40%. 10 rupees is fixed. Now what I told you, fixed remains fixed irrespective of level of output, and the current level is 10,000. So see, 25 रुपया per unit है. 40% is fixed. 25 का 40% becomes 10. This is at current level of 10,000 units. So 10,000 into 10 gives you 1 lakh. So my admin overheads everywhere will be 1 lakh. So my admin overheads everywhere will be 1 lakh. So see, part variable, part fixed. Later on there will be situation, there will be a separate category of semi variable, but here I can allocate. Getting it? वापस मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. क्वेश्चन में दिया एडमिन 25 रुपीज पर यूनिट. 40% इज फिक्स. वेरिएबल तो ऊपर हो गया. 25 into 40% gives you 10. Current level is 10,000 units. So 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh. And now do the same thing. 1 lakh को respective unit से divide करो. So 1 lakh 12.50 10 8.33 and 6.67. 1 lakh divided by the respective units will give you the amount. Got it guys? चलो same way next और दो बचा है selling and distribution. Selling 20% fixed. Again the same thing. Selling 20% fixed, ऊपर 80% वेरिएबल लिया. So now I have to take 20% fixed. कितना है? 20 रुपीज है, उसका 20%. 20 का 20% 4 rupees per unit fixed. But what I told you, current level is 10,000. So this you will multiply by 10 and take the figure everywhere. So 20 का 20% gives you 4 rupees. 4 into 10,000, that is 40,000. Okay, 4 into 10,000, that is 40,000. Now divide by the respective units. So 3.33, 4 and 5. Okay, so 40,000 divided by the respective units. Okay, divided by the respective units. Getting it now? Clear guys? Fixed overhead जो भी per unit है 10,000 से multiply करो, write the amount everywhere in the total column, amount के column में. Whereas variable per unit CPU में लिखोगे and multiply by the respective units. Now the last of the cost, distribution. अभी देखो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का क्या है, 40% वेरिएबल. 40% वेरिएबल लिया, दैट मीन 60% इज फिक्स. सो 10 into 60% into 10,000. आ रहा है समझ में? 40% इज वेरिएबल, सो 60% इज फिक्स. 10 का 60% 6, so 6 into 10,000, that is 60,000. So everywhere 60,000 you take, and that 60 you divide by the respective units. 60,000 divided by 15, ये तो होगा 4 rupees. Then ये हो गया 5 rupees. This is 6 rupees and this is 7.5. See, observe fixed overhead को observe करो. टोटल अमाउंट सेम, पर यूनिट कम होते जा रहा है बिकॉज यूनिट्स बढ़ते जा रहा है. मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट. गॉट इट? सो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन 40% वेरिएबल था तो 60% फिक्स. गॉट इट? चलो सेम वे नाउ आई टेक द टोटल बी, दैट विल बी माय टोटल फिक्स ओवरहेड. That will be my total fixed overhead. Amount देखो 2,50,000 plus 1 lakh plus 1 lakh 4,50,000. So 4,50,000 is my total amount. Fixed overhead amount will remain fixed. Now divide by the respective units. So ये हो गया 30. टोटल अमाउंट को डिवाइड करते जाओ. 40,000 डिवाइड बाय 12,000, सॉरी 4,50,000 डिवाइड बाय 12,000, 37.5. 4,50,000 divided by 10,000, 45, and 56.25. Got it? 450 fixed amount per unit of fixed overhead, 56.25, 45, 37 and a half, 30. A, total variable overheads. B, total fixed overhead. And now you will take the total of the two. That will give you your total overheads, or you call it as total cost. You call it as total overheads or total cost. See guys, इसमें भी थोड़ा बहुत variation है, but this is a basic concept sum, so I am not putting more variations. Let's focus on the basic first. Okay, अभी a plus b, चलो add करते हैं. What we'll do, add it and divide by the respective units. 16,10,000. a plus b को add कर रहा हूं, divide करो 8,000 से. So you get 201.25. 1450 plus this 19 lakhs, ये हो गया मेरा 190. 1740 plus 450, 21 lakh 90,000. Divide by 12,000. So 182.5 and 21.75 plus 450 divide by 50. 175. 21,75,000 plus 450. 26,25,000. So 2175 plus 450 gives you 26,25,000. Getting it guys? So first step, get the variable cost total per unit, get the fixed cost total per unit, get the total cost which will be variable plus fixed, that is A plus B. Now guys listen, अगर क्वेश्चन में सेलिंग प्राइस का इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दिया, the sum gets over here only. When I start this in the regular class, when I go ahead with the regular lectures, initially few sums are till cost only. अगर क्वेश्चन में डिटेल्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड सेलिंग प्राइस इज गिवन, देन ओनली यू विल कंटिन्यू फर्दर, जो ये केस में है. सो नाउ सी द कॉन्सेप्ट इज व्हाट. अगर ये कंपनी 8,000 यूनिट्स मैन्युफैक्चर करता है तो उनका कॉस्ट होगा 16,10,000. इफ दे मैन्युफैक्चर 10,000 यूनिट्स, उनका कॉस्ट होगा 19 lakhs. 12,000 पे होगा 2190, 15,000 पे 2625. That is the concept of flexible budget. Depending upon your output, your variable cost per unit, fixed cost per unit will accordingly modify. मतलब variable amount total change होगा, fixed per unit change होगा, so उसके हिसाब से there will be total cost में changes. Got it? Now guys, ये हो गया cost. Now they have given you some information that selling price arrived is such that the profit is 20% on selling price. Profit is 20% on selling price. अगर वो लोग ने बोला रहता 20% on cost, your profit would have been straight away 20% of this. But cost का नहीं बोला है, selling price. So what you will do for presentation, total cost के नीचे लिखो पहले profit and उसके नीचे then you will write sales. Okay, total cost, profit and sales. Total cost, profit and sales. Got it guys? Again I'll repeat, अगर profit 20% on cost दिया रहता, you would have taken cost का 20%. But this is 20% on selling price, so you have to take selling price का 20%. अब ये कैसे करेंगे? I'll just change the angle of the camera and I'll just do the calculation here. Yeah. I'll make a working note. इसको मैं रब करता हूं. वर्किंग नोट, calculation of selling price per unit. Working note, calculation of selling price per unit. Okay, now ध्यान रखना, this is my cost. My profit should be iska 20%, not iska. So what I'll do, basic maths. You all have done it in cost sheet also as far as. So what I'll do, let the selling price be 100. Okay, let the selling price be 100. From this, deduct less profit 20%. 100 का 20% is 20. So 100 minus 20, my cost is 80. Let the selling price be 100. 100 का 20% 20. So 100 minus 20, my cost is 80. Again I am repeating. अगर profit 20% on cost दिया होता, I would have taken इसका, but it is 20 on selling price. Okay. So now what I'll do, see. Now this will be the base for all the 4 levels. So step by step. For 8,000 units. अभी देखो 8,000 units में मेरा cost कितना है 20125. So what I'll do, cost is 80 ना. If 80 is 201.25, 100 is how much? So what you will do, 201.25 into 100 divide by 80, rounded off to 2 decimal, gives you 251.56. So the selling price for 8,000 units will be 251.56. बाद में हम लोग लिखते हैं. Let's calculate first. Next क्या है 10,000. For 10,000 units, what you will do? See, this base is common. If 80, 10,000 units का cost कितना है 190. So if 80 is 190, 100 is how much? Cross multiply. 237.5. Okay, 237.5. Then do for 12,000 units. If 80 is 182.5, 100 is how much? 228 point. अभी देखो 3 आ रहा है ना. If it is 3 decimal exact coming in the calc sheet, take it as 3 only. अगर ज्यादा आ रहा है राउंड ऑफ करो, बट अभी एग्जैक्ट 3 आ रहा है, यू कैन टेक इट एज 3. Even if you round it off to 2, it is fine. Okay, 182.5 into 100 divided by 80. And the last one कितना है मेरा 15,000 units. So for 15,000 units, if 80 cost कितना है 175, 100 is how much? So if 80 is 175, 100 is how much? 100 into 175 divided by 80 gives you 218.75. So now see, another point of flexible budget. तुम्हारा बजट के हिसाब से the selling price per unit changes. बजट के हिसाब से, that means units के हिसाब से, flexibility, the selling price changes. So now what you will do, अभी क्या करो, respective selling price, put it in the column. 8,000 units का selling price कितना है 251.56. 10,000 का कितना है 237.5, 12 का कितना है 228.15 एंड 15 का 218.75. So 218.75, 228.15, 237. Got it? Now let's take one by one. 251, what you will do? Per unit selling price multiply by the respective units. To 251.56 into 8,000. So 20,12,480. 237.5 into 10,000. 23,75,000. 27,37,500 and 218.75, 15,000. So 32,81,250. 32,81,250. Getting it, guys? Respective units I multiplied by the respective selling price. Now take the difference, that will be your profit. What you do? Total sale amount को cost से minus करो. 201,2480 minus 1610 gives you 4,02,480. उसको divide करो 8,000 से, you will get the same answer 50.31. Same answer मतलब इसका difference. Got it? Then 2375 minus 19 lakhs. 475 divide by the 10 units 10,000, 47.5. See the difference. This minus this. Then 27,37,500 minus 2190 gives you 547,500. Divide by 12,000, 45.625 and 32,81,250 is this 656,250 divided by this 43.75. Okay, 43.75. Got it, guys? Abhi check karo. Listen. Why we did this working? Profit should be 20% of selling price. देखो check करो. 251.56 check करो. 251.56 का 20% कितना होता है? 50. Take 20% of sales amount or take 20% of per unit sales. You will get this answer. In short, your profit, whether total amount or per unit, has to be 20% of respective sales. Has to be 20% of respective sales. Got it, guys? So this was flexible budget. Basic sum to start off. Of course, in the exam they may ask you a little bit less items, but this is the concept. Again, मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. I just added this for your extra calculation. Otherwise, normally in my regular classes, I don't start with the sums on sales. But here YouTube पे open है, so everybody can take the benefit of that. Got it? So मैं brush up दे रहा हूँ. Flexible budget means that which is flexible according to the units. They will give you different level 2, 3, 4, maximum 5. You have to get the cost per unit variable, per unit fixed, total B, get the total cost according to the units. Same concept of marginal costing. Per unit remains fixed, for variable total amount changes. Fixed cost total amount remains same, per unit changes, get the total cost. Profit का information नहीं है, selling price का information नहीं है. Stop the sum there only. Otherwise do the working how we did. Got it? So the same concept of marginal costing also applies here. This was a YouTube open video for the first part, flexible budget. After this, there is cash budget, sales, and then production and purchase. Every variation ka one sum I will keep it open on YouTube. And those who are studying with me regularly or those who are interested in studying the full chapter with me can connect with me on the number given in my bio. That's it guys. Please revise this. For my regular students, see you all in the next class. And for those who are watching on the YouTube, next video for this chapter will be on part 2, that is cash budget. Till then, take care guys.